For millions of years, Antarctica's bedrock was locked away under thousands of feet of ice. But as global temperatures climb, that defensive armor is fracturing. This topographical map shows the 2026 satellite survey. Digitally stripping away the ice reveals massive deposits of neodymium and dysprosium. These elements are the core requirement for modern economies, used in electric vehicle motors and next-generation missile defense systems. The physical collapse of the ice shelves has transformed the world's last pure wilderness into an exposed trillion-dollar resource vault. Since 1959, the continent has been shielded by the Antarctic Treaty and later the 1991 Madrid Protocol. These agreements established an absolute ban on all military activity and all commercial mineral mining. For decades, the system worked. Antarctica was an international sanctuary dedicated entirely to peaceful scientific cooperation. But that historical calm is breaking down under the weight of these new satellite discoveries. This map overlays the historical territorial claims of the Antarctic Treaty system directly on top of those newly mapped rare earth deposits. You can clearly see how the most valuable mineral caches sit right on the borders of competing international claims. A decades-old legal shield designed to govern a frozen, inaccessible wasteland is incompatible with the geological reality of these new mineral discoveries. The Madrid Protocol firmly outlaws mining, but it explicitly encourages and protects scientific research. In international law, that language creates a massive gray area. Russia and China are utilizing that loophole to conduct joint deep drilling operations under the banner of climate science. This map of East Antarctica shows the joint scientific team's targets, the Larsenman Hills and the Gembertsev subglacial mountains. Logs from this 545-meter deep borehole show researchers extracting bedrock samples, data identical to commercial geological prospecting. Separately, Russia has begun announcing the discovery of enormous oil and gas fields, reserves that sit entirely within the boundaries of the British Antarctic Territorial Claim. Activities officially classified as climate research are being used to conduct a covert geopolitical land grab. To maintain this pace, China heavily invests in its polar logistics network, fielding massive assets like the icebreaker Shuilong for long-term operations. In 2024, Beijing opened its fifth permanent Antarctic base, which features suspected dual-use military radar systems. Concurrently, Chinese and Russian diplomats have strategically blocked international plans to establish new marine protected areas in the Southern Ocean. While Beijing and Moscow expand their reach, the United States is pulling back. Facing deep budget cuts, the U.S. is slashing scientific funding and downsizing operations at its primary logistical hub, McMurdo Station. As the nation with the largest historical presence steps away, a massive diplomatic vacuum is forming. Adversarial powers are already fully equipped to exploit it. We are already seeing this dynamic play out in other shared global spaces. Corporations are actively bypassing UN treaties to begin commercial deep-sea mining. The push to carve up the ocean floor proves a clear point. When superpowers require critical minerals, treaties governing the global commons are routinely ignored. This timeline shows the Madrid Protocol's formal review clause, scheduled for the year 2048. But given the current volume of drilling and bedrock mapping, that date is no longer relevant. The de facto resource war for the continent is already underway. Heavy industrial machinery is now pushing into the world's most hostile and fragile environment. The world is caught between the necessity of preserving a stable climate system and the relentless industrial demand for rare earth elements. The neutrality of Antarctica, long defined by science, has vanished. As the ice cracks, so does the peace, ushering in a zero-sum confrontation for the future of the continent.